I am Wilhelm Helsingius, and I have psychology and cognitive psychotherapy degrees. Welcome to Part 7 of the Love Unconditionally Handbook. Let's explore the subject of feelings. In everyday life, we often talk about our feelings. But what we call feelings is often a mix of thoughts, experiences, reactions, and emotions, all mixed together. It's not wrong. It's simply human. But it can make it harder to truly sense what we're actually feeling. That's why it can be helpful not to sort through everything at once. Not to name the whole package. Instead, we can return to something simpler. A small set of basic emotions, or core feelings that live beneath what we usually describe when we describe how we feel. When we aim to connect with these 6 basic emotions, and allow ourselves to name them, it becomes noticeably easier. We come closer to what we're really feeling. The emotions are joy, sadness, fear, anger, disgust, and surprise. These are the core feelings I refer to in this handbook. For example, when someone says they feel lonely, the experience of loneliness is not an emotion but rather a state composed of both thoughts and emotions. This experience may include a sense of emptiness, sadness, or a longing for closeness and connection. Why is it important to have contact with what we feel? Our core feelings are the doorway to what we need, which is why it is of great value to be in contact with what we are feeling. And as the latest research on feelings shows, our feelings primarily function as indicators of what is pleasant or unpleasant to us, even though our thoughts and ego can make it much more complicated. But these core feelings are also, for the most part, your body's reaction to what you think. Your body can also hold emotional memories, which may manifest as immediate reactions or as something more subtle, influencing you in a diffuse or indirect way. These emotional memories, which exert an indirect influence, may resurface later in life, affecting you in ways you may be aware of, or they may remain beneath the surface, shaping your experiences without your conscious awareness. How do you relate to your feelings? Have you categorized certain feelings as unwanted, negative, or uncomfortable? The truth is that all feelings are equally important. In other words, no feelings are inherently good or bad, they are simply different feelings. But have your mind or your thoughts categorized what you feel as something good or bad? If you have labeled a particular feeling as bad and, therefore, try to avoid feeling it, it's as if you were trying to hold a balloon underwater. It requires constant effort, and sooner or later, it will resurface. How much do your feelings control you? In what kinds of situations is it helpful for you to be guided by a feeling? And when can feelings cause you to act in a way you later regret? When you allow feelings to flow freely, acknowledge them, and stay connected to them, they do not control you in a negative way. The more you try to avoid a particular feeling, the more it controls you, without you even realizing it. If you try to suppress the anger within you, it is highly likely that it will manifest as aggression. All feelings are interconnected, which is why suppressing any one of them affects the others. If you try to control or suppress your sadness, you will also struggle to experience genuine joy. The act of suppressing feelings may be either conscious or unconscious. If you find it difficult to connect with a certain feeling, it is essential to treat yourself with understanding and acceptance. Try to allow yourself to be open and receptive to what you feel. Simply be present with the feeling, without making it a task or a performance. Observe that you do not need to act on it, just be with it. The misconception about expressing feelings. A common misunderstanding is believing that if you don't act out what you feel, you will harm yourself. Do you believe that you should or must act out your anger when you feel it? What if, the next time you feel anger, you tell yourself, "I am allowed to be angry," or simply, "I am angry," instead of expressing it through aggression? Feelings cannot be solved, they must be felt. Feelings are not problems to be fixed, they are experiences to be embraced. They are processed by being present with them, by allowing them to exist, and by having the patience to pause and simply feel them. When you stay present, curious, and open-minded, allowing yourself to feel what you feel, it is only a matter of time before you truly connect with your feelings. And as this connection deepens, your urge to act out diminishes. Example: try simply being with your feeling, as if you were sitting next to a friend on a bench or a tree stump. You don't need to do anything, just be with the feeling. Listening to your body. Sometimes, tuning into your body can help. Unlike your thoughts, your body is always honest. This is why it is often easier to access feelings through bodily sensations. If you are feeling something, try to notice where in your body you experience this feeling. Once you have located where you feel it, try to direct your attention to that place. For the most part, feelings are your body's response to your thoughts, or they may be your body's way of communicating something you are avoiding or ignoring. Try identifying what and how you are thinking when you experience a feeling in your body. Then, approach both the thought and the feeling with compassion and understanding. Your body as a protector. Have you ever considered that your body may also be protecting you through the sensations you feel? Long ago, bodily sensations, our intuition or gut feeling, were essential for survival. If you encountered a stranger who appeared friendly but was hiding a sword behind their back, it was crucial to trust your instincts. Ignoring these bodily signals could have meant the difference between life and death. When you don't listen to your intuition, your gut feeling, your body may create discomfort to get your attention. Your body wants to protect your vulnerable side, help you respect yourself, and ensure that you acknowledge your emotional needs. The physical manifestations of ignored feelings. When your body tries to get your attention, you may experience vague tension, weakness, emptiness, or a sense of having a weight in your chest or stomach. You might feel a lump in your throat, stomach pain, heart palpitations, or difficulty breathing. These bodily signals were once vital for survival. How would it feel to be grateful for the feelings you experience in your body? If you feel tension in your stomach or chest, are you grateful that your body is trying to tell you something important? Or do you just want to get rid of the sensation as quickly as possible? The modern tendency to ignore the body's signals. In today's world, people often ignore these bodily signals and try to solve feelings with logic or by continuing their actions regardless of what their bodies are telling them. Or they might seek medication to suppress what their bodies are trying to communicate. Your thoughts might say, "I'm being too sensitive. I should be able to handle this. After all, it's just my partner, sibling, parent, or boss. I have no choice, I must do this. I shouldn't complain, everyone else manages, so I should too." When we believe we must do something that we don't actually want to do, we are most likely being led by our thoughts or ego. At the same time, it is important to remember, you cannot succeed at something you don't believe you can do. And if something feels heavy or difficult, it is often because your thoughts have labeled it as heavy or difficult. Returning to what you feel in your body and your thoughts. What do your thoughts tell you when you experience discomfort in your body? Do they say, "Why does my stomach always act up before I have to perform, meet my mother, my boss, or my neighbor, or before we travel?" Or, "Why do I get headaches, anxiety, or sleep problems just because I'm working more than usual, doing what my boss tells me to do, or simply preparing to celebrate Christmas with my relatives?" Your body might be trying to protect you through the sensations you feel. This protection emerges as your body's way of reminding you of something you should acknowledge, something you may have consciously or unconsciously been avoiding or ignoring. Your body may be reacting to something that, on a deeper level, you perceive as wrong, unfair, or harmful to you. Or it may be responding to something that feels frightening or uncomfortable, but instead of taking your feelings and needs seriously, you push them aside. It is also important to pause and reflect on whether your thoughts are creating threats that do not actually exist. When was the last time you stopped to ask yourself whether you have been ignoring something your body is trying to tell you? Is there something you have avoided or suppressed on a deeper level? Is there something that feels wrong to you, something that could actually harm you, something you perceive as violating or frightening, but that you have been ignoring? If you do not take the signals from your body seriously, it will persistently try to get your attention, often by intensifying physical symptoms. Your body may try to communicate with you through increased tension, health issues, sleep disturbances, digestive problems, headaches, and more. Instead of just trying to get rid of your headaches, stomach issues, or sleep problems, try saying to yourself, "Great, my alarm system is working. My body is trying to tell me something important. My body wants to protect and help me." Do you take the alarm seriously, listening to what your body is trying to tell you? Or do you take a risky gamble with your body and your health? Listening to your body does not mean giving up, nor does it mean you won't be able to do what you set out to do. But if you continue to ignore what your body is telling you, it can lead to serious physical and mental illness. When a person's words and actions don't match. One example of how body signals can become difficult to manage is when you are in situations where there is a clear contradiction between what someone says and what they do. If a person speaks as if they are loving but behaves in the opposite way, it can create deep inner confusion. A stark but illustrative example is a cold and emotionally unavailable parent who still expects their child to be affectionate and loving toward them. The same applies in adult relationships, where a partner might be selfish or inconsiderate, yet still guilt trips their partner for not being loving enough or for failing to give them full attention. Or someone may be romantic, charming, or poetic in words, but if your body signals emotional coldness, inconsistent behavior, or contradictory body language, those words lose their meaning. This is why it is crucial to take seriously any gut feeling that something feels off, whether it's with a specific person or within your relationship. If you ignore your body's intuitive warning signals, you may find yourself deeply unwell in the presence of a person who sends mixed signals. When dealing with someone who is inconsistent, we often blame ourselves, because we have a deep need for connection. We might suppress our own needs and feelings to avoid rejection. This can happen consciously or unconsciously. How to protect yourself from emotional contradictions. If you are around someone who is emotionally inconsistent, it is essential to pause, listen to your body, and show yourself compassion and respect for what you are feeling and needing on a deeper level. If necessary, dare to set boundaries and stand up for yourself. Protecting yourself may mean distancing yourself from this person. If you do not protect yourself or take care of yourself, not even by asking for help, nothing will change. Others cannot help you unless you acknowledge your needs and take them seriously. The right person can help you heal, the wrong one can deepen your wounds. Few of us are without emotional wounds from childhood, and that is completely okay. The more we try to pretend we are unwounded, the more our wounds control us. But if we dare to face them, they can even help us grow, allowing us to become more genuinely loving toward ourselves and others. Recognizing whether a person is right for you. The key is to recognize whether the person you are with deepens your wounds or is capable of giving you what you never received. However, it is equally important to remember that no one else can heal your wounds for you. The goal is not to expect a partner or another person to heal you, but rather to recognize whether they are truly capable of meeting your deeper emotional needs. For healing to occur, you must dare to make yourself fully visible and vulnerable. You must dare to love and be loved, let go of your defenses, and take emotional risks. The greatest obstacle to getting what you need emotionally is often yourself. To truly allow love in, you may need to let go of preconceived ideas about yourself and others and fully immerse yourself in the experience of deep connection. Taking your body's messages seriously. Listening to your body means taking better care of your health and tuning into your deeper emotional needs. It means acknowledging the vulnerable parts of yourself and, if necessary, protecting yourself, or using what your body tells you to better prepare for challenges ahead. When your body feels heard, it signals often less tension. A small practice. Communicating with your body. If you experience stomach pain before a performance, try placing your hand on your stomach and saying, "Thank you for caring about me. I hear you, and I am here with you." Try showing love and understanding, as if you were comforting a small child. Direct this kindness toward the area of your body where you feel discomfort. Expect nothing in return, just offer unconditional love and caring. If needed, repeat this practice whenever the symptom appears. For example, if you have a sensitive stomach, you might place your hand on it each night before bed and send it kindness and compassion. If you feel like your body is working against you, whether it's before a trip, a dental appointment, a performance, or an exam, it is likely because you are suppressing something you feel or need. Instead of fighting against your symptoms, try listening to them. If you're nervous before performing and feel tension in your stomach, acknowledge the sensation and remind yourself by saying, for example, "I am allowed to feel afraid." It is completely understandable that the part of me that wants to succeed is scared of failing. If it feels strange to have a dialogue with yourself, it might be comforting to know that for thousands of years, people have recognized that we all have different aspects or voices within us, inner parts within us that we can connect with, build a relationship to, and understand with compassion and acceptance. Those who are unaware of or disconnected from these inner voices are often the ones who become neurotic or compulsively act in rigid ways, as if there were no other choice. Western psychiatry has historically tried to cure people who express or experience these different voices or dimensions within them, rather than seeking to understand them. Yet, these inner voices and parts of us serve an important function. They tell the story of the environment a person has lived in and how they tried to survive within it. For me, it's tragic that Western psychiatry has largely ignored ancient wisdom that recognizes the natural and essential role of inner dialogue with our different inner aspects in maintaining a balanced and healthy being. These voices exist for a reason, and the more we acknowledge them and develop a conscious, accepting relationship with them, the more we can be guided by what is truly authentic within us. Our inner voices are shaped by a combination of early experiences, social influences, emotional events, and our own thought patterns. The first voices we internalize often come from our parents or caregivers. Their words, tone, and ways of responding to us shape foundational inner voices, some encouraging and supportive, others critical or demanding. As we grow, teachers, peers, and societal norms further influence the quality of our inner voices. Supportive environments foster confidence, while negative experiences can strengthen self-doubt. Our emotional experiences, such as successes, failures, and relationships, also play a significant role in determining which voices become dominant. For example, the kind of life partner, workplace, or boss we have can greatly impact whether supportive or self-critical voices are reinforced. Additionally, cultural and social influences, including media, religion, and societal ideals, shape our internal dialogues about what is right, wrong, worthy, or inadequate. Over time, we reinforce these inner voices by repeating certain thought patterns. Through awareness and self-reflection, we can reshape, refine, and balance them, allowing for a more conscious and constructive inner dialogue. Some voices become supportive and motivating, while others can be critical or limiting. By becoming aware of them, we can learn to listen more to the constructive ones and challenge the destructive ones. Just as you might listen to signals from your stomach, you can also listen to and negotiate with your demanding inner voice when it pressures or criticizes you. For example, if you feel tension in your stomach, it may be your body's way of drawing your attention to the demanding voice. Speaking kindly to your stomach, acknowledging that it is helping you be reasonable with yourself, not only nurtures your compassionate side but also softens the harsh demands of the demanding inner voice. You can choose whether to communicate with the symptom your body generates or with the demanding voice itself, which is at the root of why your body is signaling distress. Recognizing and engaging with these inner voices consciously gives you the power to decide how you relate to them. If we are unaware of and disconnected from these voices, they control us. But once we acknowledge and understand them, we reclaim the ability to guide ourselves with greater clarity, balance, and authenticity. The more we understand and become aware that we all have these inner dialogues, the better we can understand ourselves and each other. In summary, the more you show understanding, gratitude, and kindness toward what your body is telling you and toward your deeper emotional needs, the less your body will need to get your attention. The more you suppress your feelings and needs, the stronger your physical symptoms might become. Earlier in this episode, we talked about being with your feelings. Now, let's explore further what that actually means in practice. How do you feel about the idea that the most difficult experiences in your life could become the most valuable ones? What do you believe is needed for your hardest experiences to transform into something meaningful and valuable for you? Could the most important factor be that you try to get in contact with what you actually feel or face the pain you experience if you want your struggles to turn into something valuable? What could it look like to pause, be present with yourself, and truly be in contact with or face what you actually feel? When you dare to face your feelings and the pain within you, you will grow, gain deeper insight into your needs, and reconnect with the inner calm that already exists within you. Your thoughts may try to convince you that what you are experiencing is threatening, but is that really true? An example of how you can stay with what you truly feel. Let's say you struggle with being alone, have been betrayed, abandoned, or experienced loss. Maybe you have gone through an accident or a traumatic event. Start by pausing. The same applies if you are experiencing feelings of helplessness, guilt, shame, or any other deep emotional pain. Pause. Remember, you cannot pause too much. Notice how your mind reacts. What are your thoughts trying to push you to do? This step is crucial because we tend to distract ourselves by staying busy, doing something, anything, to avoid what we need to process or be with. Your thoughts may also try to lead you toward self-soothing behaviors, like turning to alcohol, sex, shopping, or food when you feel something uncomfortable but are not in touch with what that feeling really is. It's common to crave sweets, shopping, or drinks when we experience emotions we are consciously or unconsciously trying to suppress. Observe what your thoughts are telling you to do or what they suggest you need right now, but don't let them control you. Instead, try to stay present with the feeling you may have been avoiding. The more you observe and understand what your thoughts are pushing you toward, the less control they have over you. Just stay present and observe what it feels like to simply exist. Whatever your thoughts may say, just be. Try to accept whatever you are experiencing. Welcome the feeling you are having and stay with it, no matter what it is, what your thoughts are telling you, or what they urge you to do. No matter what happens, you will get through this, even if your thoughts try to convince you otherwise. Just be with the feeling, you don't have to do anything. Simply allow it to be there. Either it will reach out to you, or you will become aware of it. It's not about chasing or finding the feeling, but rather recognizing what is preventing you from experiencing it. Distinguishing between true feelings and thoughts. Try to differentiate between what you are actually feeling as a feeling and what is just a thought or perception. When I ask people what they feel, most respond by telling me what they think instead. As you may remember, your basic feelings are. Or do you remember what they were? Yes, they were joy, sadness, fear, anger, disgust, and surprise. I am repeating them because it seems surprisingly difficult for people to remember them, and it is okay, totally okay, no stress about that, even if your thoughts can try to put pressure on you. When you become aware that it's not more complicated than recognizing one of the 6 core feelings, everything becomes easier. You will find it much simpler to identify what you feel in your daily life, which in turn makes it easier to understand what you need, because what you feel is the doorway to what you need. Whatever you are feeling, be with it. Strive to be curious about what is happening inside you and what kinds of thoughts arise when you experience this feeling. Approach your feelings as if you were a scientist, studying something important and fascinating for the very first time. As I mentioned, most people do not differentiate between what is a thought and what is a feeling, so don't be hard on yourself if this is challenging. Try to separate what is a thought you are thinking from what is a true emotional experience, something you feel on a deeper level. Stop for a moment. Do you remember the 6 core feelings? I hope you can see me smiling. I promise I won't repeat them again. In the next section, I continue with the theme of feelings. If you found what I shared interesting or relevant, you can press the like button. It helps others discover this handbook.